my favorite model. We're gonna talk to my favorite supermodel nih. Cantik banget, bule lagi. If I was a guy, I'll go for her sih. She's a super mother. She's only 24. Terus badannya bagus banget, padahal udah punya anak satu. So she got married at 17. Itu mimpi-mimpi cewek-cewek di sini kan. Aku kadang bingung kalau dapet DM curhat kayak umur 15 aja udah sedih, udah panik. Pada maunya married umur 17 ya. Nih kita akan ngomong ke narasumber satu ini bentar lagi. She's amazing. She got married at umur 17, tapi dia sama husbandnya so harmonis, and ceweknya tinggi, cantik, and she's really strong also, and she's smart, very smart also. Is she here yet? Kapan? Coba lagi sibuk apa? Sibuk makan es krim dong, Häagen-Dazs gitu. Aku mau tulis topiknya dulu. Aku mau pinin topik ya. Ya, kita mau ngomongin how she got over her trauma aja supaya ngebantu kalian. Is she here? Sapa Medan dong, Kak Dita. Hai Denana. Itu di Medan. Omikaya belum ada. I love Medan food. Medan food enak banget. I really wanna go to Medan. Aku lagi baca komennya. Ini lagi di hotel ya Kak? Enggak lah, gila ngapain gue di hotel? Pengen banget sih liburan. Pengen banget liburan. Tolong baca DM. Oke, nih narasumber kita si Mika is here. Supermodel mother. Mana ya? Here. Smart also and romantic banget sama suaminya. What's your secret? Dia sama suaminya nggak pernah berantem beritanya loh. Mika, thank you so much. Do you still ini breed jualan cat? Tunjukin dong di video. Ada nggak sih kucing-kucingnya?
Ada mereka lagi di sini.
Iya tuh. How many do you have?
Wow.
Yeah. So you still sell them, right? If they wanna buy, they can they can DM you or what?
Iya, di hybrid kok. Tapi untuk sementara karena lagi COVID, itu lagi milih untuk belum dulu. Karena kan masalah social distancing, menurut aku social distancing sama binatang pun juga super important. Jadi untuk sementara belum bisa.
Belum. Emang binatang bisa kena corona ya? Katanya corona cuma manusia doang. Bisa tuh?
Bisa. Emang mereka kenanya tuh saat manusia.
Oh, wow. You know you're 24, tapi ini cewek tinggi banget dan cantik gitu ya. First time I saw her pas di photoshoot, pas itu buat apa sih? Buat Shanas ya? Remember for Shanas, I think, or in acara
fashion show untuk heelsnya Shanas.
Iya, pas itu. Nah, cantik banget, even prettier in person, by the way.
No.
By the way kan you got married pas 17. Mau nanya aja, nyesel nggak nikah muda? Or nggak nyesel buat cewek-cewek?
Nyesel sama sekali.
Wow, 17.
Aku tuh so happy. Aku decided untuk married umur 17, going 18 sama suami. Kita udah hampir 6 tahun sekarang. Udah punya anak umur 3 tahun yang going 4 nanti Oktober. Alhamdulillah, I don't regret anything sama sekali.
Nih, baik banget nih. Good luck. Terus ini juga baik banget. Rahasianya apa sih suaminya? Katanya nggak pernah pulang malam tanpa izin ya? He always like tell you where he is. Ini baik banget sih. Other wife are begging to be informed.
Itu sih apa dari kita pacaran begitu. Jadi kita udah pernah buat deal. Selama kita pacaran itu whatever we've done together dan apa yang kita decided pas mau married juga harus sama aja, nggak usah rubah sama sekali. Karena menurut aku kan ada beberapa orang tuh kira kalau udah nikah rubahlah nanti kita harus lebih ini atau nggak usah gini lagi atau nggak usah itu. Enggak sih, menurut aku karena pas kita lagi pacaran kita jatuh cinta, itu yang di masa kita jatuh cinta dan kita kepikiran untuk married sama itu orang kan karena cara dia gimana ya, cara dia present himself selama lagi pacaran kan. Jadi menurut aku mau married sama kamu karena selama ini aku happy dengan kamu. Jadi nggak usah nanti pas kita married bener berubah, ngapain gitu loh.
Bener. Wow.
Jadi selama yang apa yang kita lakukan selama pacaran sampai sekarang masih sama aja, nggak ada yang berubah. Karena menurut aku nggak
Itu sweet
usah.
banget nih, dream marriage. You're lucky, you know. Biasanya kan cowok berubah kalau udah married, banyak janjinya di depan aja. Cewek
Iya
jadi takut.
sih. Nah itu sih kayaknya menurut aku the one thing aku akan ngetip ke cewek-cewek tuh sebelum married, lakukan yang aku lakukan ya. Aku sebenarnya sempet dudukin Fardan pas umur 17, banget tuh, dia sempet iseng. Soalnya kalau kita married aja tahun ini gimana ya? Nah, itu sebenarnya udah masalah karena I'm already in love with you, but not only that, I love the way I am with you, gitu kan. Of course I wanna get married with you, tetapi yuk let's put the rules now. Jadi sebelum kita married pun, aku tuh udah bilang sama dia, yuk kita ngebahasnya sekarang, gitu kan. Apa sih masalah kita nih ke depannya mau gimana, kamu mau aku sebagai istri kayak gimana, aku mau kamu sebagai suami kayak gimana, itu semua dibahasnya pas sebelum married. Jadi nggak masalah tuh, kita sempat berantem kok, maksudnya kita sempat berantem kayaknya sebulan lebih deh ngebahas masalah aku mau gimana, dia mau kayak gimana, bla bla bla, sampai kita dapat apa sih kayak persetujuan gitu loh. Karena menurut aku lebih milih untuk berantem pas sebelum marriednya daripada nanti pas married dabuk nggak jadi atau jadinya ngesal atau ada masalah apa. Jadi aku lebih milih untuk aku nggak takut untuk berantem sama dia dan apa sih ngebahas semua masalah ke depan. Kita sampai ngebahas masalah anak itu udah dibahas belum married. Masalah nanti kalau dia mau kuliah, masalah dia A B C D F G, nanti dia mau married, itu semua dibahas. Jadi maksud aku, jadi pas kita married sampai sekarang kita nggak usah ngebahas lagi, nggak usah ngedebat apapun karena kita udah ngedeal dari sebelumnya.
Keren itu cewek-cewek, makanya kita nggak boleh jadi kucing dalam karung ya, atau kadang cewek-cewek takut atau nggak enakan. Bener, mending gagal di sebelumnya daripada gagal pas udah terlanjur.
Betul.
Bener. Terus semua harus diomongin. Wah, kita belajar tuh, girls, catat bahwa semua harus diomongin, jangan ada yang ditutup-tutupin, terus nggak usah ada kejutan supaya pas pernikahannya udah enak, karena debatnya udah capeknya di depan. Karena
udah
I think iya, karena I think with marriage either lu capek later on atau di depan, nggak ada easy way. Karena juga lu pura-pura mau tahan berapa lama sih, nobody can fake it for so long. Apalagi kalau tinggal bareng kelihatan banget gitu. Jadi bener-bener setuju. Terus Mika, tapi you hebat banget, you know, for girls Mika yang trauma, they cannot go with men because they already think negative of men. Tapi how come you're so positive? And I love your TikTok with your husband, makes every girl jealous. Iya, karena dua-dua badannya bagus dan dua-dua itu very good looking, nggak kayak udah married lama gitu. Kayak Barbie and Ken, Indonesia Barbie and Ken.
Enggak, jadi emang dulu sempat pas umur 8 tahun mau 9 tahun, my mom remarry with her second husband, and at first, of course, he was good, he was a good father, he was a good husband to my mom, jadi happy aja. Gak tau kenapa pas my mom lahirin anak keduanya dengan dia, so my little brother Nicholas, gak tau kenapa but he changed. Jadi dia yang tadinya sangat-sangat loving ke aku dan dia menerima aku sebagai anak kandung dia juga, gak tau kenapa pas dia udah punya anak sendiri dengan ibu saya, mendadak dia lihat aku tuh sebagai I don't know, maybe dia sempat terasa terancam sama aku karena dia sempat ngerasa kayak ini kan bukan anak gue sebenarnya gitu kan, anak gue kan yang ini sebenarnya bukan punya gue, ngapain sih gue urusin dia. Jadi aku masih sempat terasa di neglect. Pertama-tama pas aku rasa di neglect, aku sempat terasa kayak ya udahlah ya, aku pas nggak tahu kenapa lebih mikirin at least now my mom is happy, karena aku udah selama ini udah lihat my mom as a single parent, as a single person tuh emang sempat sedih sih. Obviously she gets lonely, obviously I see kayak dia kalau lihat ada orang di jalan tuh kayak romantis, aku lihat dia suka agak gimana gitu loh. Dan aku cuman pas umur segitu tuh aku cuma mikirin at least my mom is happy. Tetapi
so selfless, mature banget. Umur segitu you udah mature, no wonder you got married at 17. Karena umur 8 aja lu udah selfless to your mom.
Terus nggak lama di situ, when si Nicholas adik aku udah umur 1 tahun, gak tahu kenapa, I guess mereka sempat berantem, they had problems, and si stepfather aku yang ini sempat kayaknya he didn't know how to lepas his rage, and maybe dia nggak sempat bisa berantem, nggak bisa marah banget kepada istrinya, which is my mom. Endingnya dia kayaknya udah lihat saya sebagai easy target aja sih. And pas itu aku masih umur 9 tahun, dan nggak tahu kenapa suatu hari jam maybe kayak tengah malam lah, aku nggak terlalu inget, so still 9, tapi intinya aku inget banget aku udah tidur udah pulas, mendadak kebangun ada cowok segede, ya gimana ya, umur 9 tahun lihat laki dewasa itu kayaknya udah horror ya, they're huge, sumur gitu, and he was on top of me. Dia megang tangan aku kiri kanan, intinya ke arah the bed, terus sorry bentar ya, terus he decided to start hurting me. Pertama apa yang dilakukan, dia cubit-cubit aja, badan aku cubit-cubit. Aku pas lagi kejadian itu sih lebih ke shock ya. I had no idea what the hell was going on. Namanya juga umur 9 tahun. Terus I thought of him as a stepfather, so I thought of him as a father. I'm supposed to feel safe with him. I'm supposed to feel loved by him. I had no idea. Intinya sama sekali I had no idea what the hell was going on at that time. Gue dicubit, sempat kecekek berapa kali, tapi dia tau lah, maksudnya I know he didn't want to kill me, he just wanted to hurt me, he just
angry,
wanted
emotional.
Yeah, he just wanted power, he just wanted to feel powerful, so he just did moments kayak cekek maybe berapa detik terus lepas, cekek berapa detik lepas, sempat dipukul in certain areas of my body juga, terus nanti dia cabut. To be honest, pas hari itu terjadi aku sempat kayak shock banget sih, kayak bingung what the hell was going on. Terus nggak lama it kept going, it got worse and worse, like he started doing it again, maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once kalau lagi berantem parah banget sama emang hampir bisa setiap malam. Dan to be honest aku sempet bingung banget, dan aku habis itu pas itu tuh udah gak punya suster lagi, udah gak punya mbak, jadi emang semua mandi ganti baju tuh sendiri, jadi emang nggak ada yang notice, dan aku pun juga nggak ngasih lihat karena aku masih confused, in shock, karena I was still too young to really know what was going on and how to process it lah intinya. Jadi emang tapi nggak lama, cuman maybe kayak 6-7 bulan setelah itu I said enough is enough. Dan aku gak tahu kenapa, karena aku emang sering ngobrol lah sama mama, dan mama sering banget kayak suka nge-cerita, we as women have to be strong, we as women have to be independent, we never have to be dependent on men, even though one day you will have a husband, one day kamu akan go through breakups, have boyfriends, blah 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 blah. Intinya lu gak pernah harus ngedependent on a man, always be independent on yourself, dependent in yourself aja. Tapi of course you deserve to be loved gitu kan. And then gak lama setelah itu I decided, yaudah deh, kalau apparently my mom wants me to be a woman who's strong, who can stand up for myself, and obviously never have to be dependent on men, I decided to tell her gitu kan. Aku ceritalah ke dia, so mom, actually your husband has been doing this. My mom shock gila. Aku ngasih lihat bukti, of course kan dari badan ya. Kasih lihat aja bukti badan aku, and then yaudah nggak lama habis itu benar-benar he was split second he was gone, and my mom made sure he was gone, and nowhere near our family, and sampai sekarang we've never seen him ever again. And to be honest, definitely I forgive him. Karena menurut aku he's sick, he's not normal, dan menurut aku at that time he was just going through a rough time. Dia itu emang sempat marah sama my mom, obviously their relationship wasn't going well. Dia nggak tahu his rage mau kemana, and he just used me as a target, because I was an easy target, namanya juga anak umur 9 tahun. So definitely I understand. Jadi I think the reason why I could move on and bangkit from this situation,
you don't let the trauma affects the rest of your life, ya kan?
Karena I try to understand him aja sih. Look at his side of the story. Kenapa he did what he did, and to be honest, it makes sense. And namanya juga he's sick gitu loh. And all I hope for now is that he gets better. I hope he's in a better place. I hope he is, you know, in his second marriage. I hope he one day will have kids, has a wife. I hope he will go forward and be a better person.
Yeah. Wow, so strong. How are you so mature sih? 6 months you kept it all to yourself. Other kids will already crying, running to mommy, you know. At that age kan you're shocked, especially kalau lagi setengah malam kan you're shocked, itu kan masuk di alam bawah sadar. You know? Wow.
Iya sih, tapi kemungkinan juga ada anak, menurut aku masih common juga sih kalau anak seumur aku ada yang bisa diem. Karena mau gimana juga kan kita sebenarnya masih nggak bisa proses. Sempat bingung, nggak bisa proses, dan sempat takut. Lebih banyak sih takut, kayak nggak sure where is it gonna go. Kayak of course pas aku cerita ke my mom, aku takut my mom malah kayak masih tetap mau married sama dia, masih tetap mau cari cara untuk biar oke, mau compromise atau apa. Sempet takut masalah gitu-gitu sih. Itu lebih parah lagi, sempet takut kayak kalau aku cerita nanti gue udah apain ya gitu loh. Jadi namanya juga anak umur 9 tahun kan kita the fear was just overwhelming. Jadi kayak sempet itu.
Wow, hebat banget. So how did you cope with it? Kayak nangis or what? At school were you kayak tiba-tiba nggak mau socialize that age?
To be honest, it was just more sempet emang guru-guru gue sempet lihat kayak aku mulai kayak unsocialize, really started to move away from my friends. Tapi at the end of the day, I was also bullied at the same time in school. So jadi kayak I guess a lot of things that happen, jadi kayak kenumpuk, jadi ketutup juga sih. So jadi emang gak kelihatan. But to cope with it, definitely kayak it was all because of my mom. The way she grew me up, she made sure I became a strong woman. Jadi everything my mom told me, aku benar-benar nyerapin banget sih. Dalam sadar, so aku sebenarnya nyerapin banget. And as I got older, aku sempet tomboy tuh nggak lama setelah itu, karena of course I lost respect. Of course at that time aku sempet takut sama cowok. Lebih
But
ke
now
trust.
you're happily married and you're a good mother too. You're so caring and affectionate.
I hope so.
Biasanya orang yang kena trauma kan they don't know how to show affection, malah they become cold, and but you're not like that at all. You're very positive and affectionate.
I guess pas aku before I had my first boyfriend, ya namanya ke boyfriend ala-ala ya kan, lovey-dovey. I decided enough was enough. Of course now and then pasti aku akan keinget lagi, terus kerekam lagi, terus ngerasa the pain lagi dan nangis-nangis, dan intinya drama lah bisa sampai my mom tuh suka bingung banget.
No, it's not drama lah. You have the right to feel like that. You're just a kid. So strong.
Sempat nangis, ya bertahun-tahun lah. Itu akan selalu at that time masih umur segitu kan, trying to also figure out who I was, who I am as a person. Terus pas umur 14 I decided, you know what, it's enough. Aku udah gak mau nangis-nangis lagi, udah gak mau make this affect me anymore, karena menurut aku it's not worth it, he's not worth it. I have to move on with my life. Kok cuman karena kejadian kemarin itu, what he did to me suddenly will affect my whole life gitu. Siapa dia? Why does he have to have so much power on me gitu loh. Gue gak mau dia tuh nemplokin his power on me. I wanna overpower him himself. I wanna overpower him gitu kan. Jadi pas aku umur 14, I said that's it gitu. Yang tadinya tomboy, bener-bener aduh gak mau sama sekali ada hubungan sama laki, I decided to go back to be who I was, and then had my first boyfriend, and from then it just slowly, of course it's a process. Itu dari umur aku 9 sampai umur 16 tuh prosesnya panjang lebar, and there's gonna be ups and downs. Gak mungkin itu sempet kayak apa ya,
smooth sailing,
itu
of course,
gak cantik, and it wasn't just like gets better and better. Enggak, there are days where I just drop, there are days where I'm up in the sky, Jadi definitely prosesnya takes time and there's up and down. Tapi yang
But it's worth it ya, and it's possible
it's
to overcome. Look at
it's
you now,
obviously
berkeluarga. Wow. And I never see, I can't imagine you're a tomboy, karena you jago makeup, di TikTok aja jago kan, and di YouTube yang ala Korea itu your skin bagus banget. Oh you orang kalau ada you bilang you tomboy pasti nggak percaya. Do you have an old picture? Entah dong post di your
actually
feed or story.
all my friends di high school know. Mereka
Oh,
tahu aku
nice.
tomboy. Tapi
Yeah. Mm-mm.
aku tuh benar-benar dulu aja
Mm-mm.
when I went out
Uh-uh.
go out with my friends, even in high school, I never
Yeah.
use makeup. Aku cuma pakai maskara sama alis, that was it.
Oh, wow. Ini
Kayak I never really liked makeup at that time. Tapi pas I met my husband and then I got married,
Yeah.
I guess I got terus aku masuk ke dunia entertainment.
Yeah.
Mau gak mau harus mulai belajar lah masalah makeup. Of course
Yeah,
I
but you-
enjoy it, I love it. Tapi
Yes,
deep
yes.
inside kayak there's still that tomboy in me, of course.
You're a good dancer tuh loh, very good dancer. Yeah.
Gak sih, itu bener-bener kayak
Seru
pede aja
lentur
udah,
banget
pede
TikTok.
aja.
Iya. Terus rajin olahraga, yang couple olahraga workout tuh di TikTok ya, hot banget loh itu. Yang belum nonton harus follow her TikTok deh. She's one of my favorite TikToker.
Itu
Actually my favorite TikToker tuh namanya Mika, dua-duanya Mika you
Yeah,
and Mika si anaknya Nia. Gue suka banget sama dia, anak kecil
she's
lucu
so
banget.
cute. Iya, dia
Yeah, she's a good dancer tuh, just like
Yeah, she
you.
is super
Iya,
flexible
dua-duanya.
banget sih kalau dia. Kalau dia malah emang beneran penari. Kalau aku mah
Enggak lah,
pede
lu karena
aja.
kakinya panjang aja kali, jadi every move looks good gitu.
Iya
Karena kan
sih.
dia nggak gendut, jadinya fatnya nggak kemana-mana kalau nari. Iya,
Ya,
kurus soalnya.
masalahnya kan lebih ke intinya on beat aja.
Mm-mm.
Selain itu
Wah.
mah harus pede aja. Jadi kelihatannya tuh kayak wow, tapi sebenarnya nggak bisa. Tapi pedein aja udah.
Yeah, that's true.
Confidence sih intinya.
Iya, bener. Wow. Terus nih mau balik lagi ke negative mindset. Kalau trauma kan kadang-kadang I don't know about you, tapi if I've never been like physically abused, tapi aku juga pernah trauma lah, lebih mentally ya. Terus trauma itu kita suka accusing orang, you know, did it happen to you that you know before it happened, sometimes you already accuse, oh this guy will do this or this guy will do that, and how do you overcome it? So you don't accuse people without facts. Karena kan kasihan dong orang belum bersalah lu udah bilang dia salah, kan jahat itu, it's not fair. Itu gimana?
Menurut aku sih, because pas when I was a teenager, pas 15-16, I decided to masuk ke in his shoes. Jadi if you've been a victim, try to kayak nggak takut untuk masuk ke sepatunya the one who abused you, the one who did anything to you that made you traumatized. Karena pasti mereka ada reason gitu loh. Dan jangan takut untuk to realize kayak mereka juga lagi hurting. Karena nggak mungkin mereka ngelakuin sesuatu tanpa karena something happened to them gitu loh. Jadi for me you have to let them apologize, maupun they don't even apologize, tapi kamu harus gimana aja move on, and you have to realize kayak oh ya udah dia sempat lakuin hal ini kejadian ke gue karena dia sebenarnya sempat hurting juga, tapi dia nggak tahu cara untuk ngelepas ini gimana, dan cara dia itu emang sangat-sangat negatif, dan pas banget situasinya I was the victim gitu. Nah kita sebagai victim jangan sampai apa yang kejadian ke kita tuh overtakes us and empowers us, karena menurut aku we should definitely keep it tapi move on from it and save it kayak in our heart and knowing kayak gila, this happened to me, tapi it doesn't define me. Gue akan move on, gue akan maju. Dan sebenarnya karena kejadian itu, gue jauh lebih strong, gue jauh lebih bisa lakuin hal yang aku kira dulu aku nggak sampai kepikiran. Karena menurut aku percaya banget bahwa Allah itu nggak mungkin give us an experience in our life yang menurut dia tuh kita nggak mampu untuk hadapin.
Ya,
gitu sih, aku percaya banget. Jadi apapun yang yang terjadi kepada aku itu juga dari izin Allah, dan Allah menurut dia aku tuh bisa ngelewatin itu. Jadi percaya aja sih. aku percaya banget sama
Yeah.
Allah, jadi
So faith,
maju
yeah,
aja.
your faith really helps you ya to get over the trauma and
Definitely.
live normally, have family. Makanya girls, kalau kamu trauma, don't let the guy that hurt you or whoever itu have your future too. Itu bener. It's a good mindset.
Iya.
I like it that even he didn't apologize, you act like he already apologized, right? So we just
Move
have
on
to
aja,
forgive.
karena at the end of the
Yeah.
day mereka juga akan kesel kok. I don't know
Yeah.
if my stepfather
Yeah.
sees my Instagram follows and knows what
Yeah,
I'm
I
on
bet
right
he
now, but
does.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure if he does, I'm pretty sure he probably so annoyed. If
Yeah.
he's still a bad person, dia pasti annoyed banget, kesel, dan kayak kok dulu gue inin dia, kok dia malah fine-fine aja. Dan menurut aku itu kita overpowering mereka banget. Dan menurut
Yeah.
aku kita sebagai cewek jangan takut, terus lawan, dan kita harus show them that we are fine. Dan beneran fine ya, jangan bohong gitu loh. Maksud aku, if you're not fine, it's fine,
Yeah,
karena ada
get help.
prosesnya.
Yeah, talk to your
Yeah.
mom or gitu-gitu. Bener.
Kan it took me about 8 years to figure it out and how to move on from it and cope with it. Jadi menurut aku it takes time definitely, tapi make sure it doesn't define you for the rest of your life. Gitu
Benar,
sih.
itu keren banget. Jadinya you are not what happened to you ya, you are how you choose to overcome. And girls, catat, we learn a lot from Mika today sih. Jadinya kalau you don't have to wait for an apology to get over things ya, to move on. Jadi don't wait until the person apologize, the person regret, the person begging for your apology. Terus kedua, you need to speak up ya. Jadi nggak boleh takut ya. Jadi talk to your mom, talk to an adult. Terus jangan expect it will be like quick and magic, the process trauma healing. Memang perlu waktu ya.
Jangan kepikiran kayak pas gue ngomong udah nih kayak blank gitu loh, terus kayak happy ending, belum tentu. It takes time, dan masalah itu dari kamu loh, nggak mungkin. Maksudnya a lot of people can help you, however if you don't ask for the help and you don't help yourself as well, nggak mungkin juga bisa maju gitu loh.
Wow, mature
it's all
banget
from
sih.
yourself juga.
Ya, makanya girls, kalau kamu experience sama, jangan malu ya. Don't see it as a tabu or apa. Karena it's not your fault. Ngerti gak sih? You never ask to be abused. Jadinya girls, ingat, it's not your fault. It's not something you harus malu about. Malah you harus speak up gitu. Apalagi sekarang banyak layanan, you can put the person in jail actually. If you have evidence kan, you can put in jail. Sekarang banyak layanan charity yang mau bantu juga.
Iya.
Gitu.
Dan kedua masalah speak up. I don't think kayak speak up, aku ngerti banyak orang kayak gue mau speak up tapi gue tetap malu. Ya menurut gue speak up nggak usah you have to speak up to the whole world, lo nggak usah nge-post di social media.
Your mom or to people in the
tapi
house.
intinya to people yang benar-benar cinta sama kamu dan menurut kamu akan bisa ngebantu kamu untuk keluar dari situasi tersebut gitu loh. Jadi maksud kita speak up doesn't mean you have to kayak nge-post, nge-blast di social media kayak ini gue di-abuse, gak usah, atau gue diapain gak usah. Senyaman kamu mau sampai seberapa speak up, inti ada yang tahu dan orang itu akan bisa ngebantuin kamu untuk keluar dari situasi tersebut. Itu aja sih.
Yeah, for sure. Speak up to the whole world sih optional ya, mendingan jangan dulu. Apalagi kalau lu belum healed ya, maybe kalau udah healed baru better. Iya.
Belum past it, jangan sih, karena it could wreck you and you could accidentally hurt yourself. Jadi kayak maksudnya aku aja udah got over it dari aku umur 16 and now I'm 24, tapi this is my second time untuk ngebahas masalah ini ke social media. Dan jangan salah loh Kak, ini teman-teman aku banyak yang DM mendadak kaget karena sahabat-sahabat aja, sepupu-sepupu aku aja itu pada nggak tahu, karena at that time
you're such a strong girl. You emang dari kecil udah kompos sih. I think we should interview your mom. How did she raise you? Because me, I'm a very emotional extrovert person. I will go black crazy on the guy. I'd be like, Mom, put him in jail or something. Yeah, and you can hide it so well in front of your friends, your cousins. How do you do it? A girl emang harus kompos kayak Mika sih, jangan kayak gue. Gue kalau benci orang, semua orang bisa tahu. Ntar gue bilangin, mau marah-marah.
Bukan masalah I had to hide it sih, karena menurut aku
nggak, itu called wisdom. I think it's mature of you. Karena nobody needs.
Emang this trauma is very personal to me.
Yeah.
I didn't really want anyone to have to know. Karena aku sempat lebih takutnya bukan masalah malu, aku lebih takutnya gue nggak mau dikasihanin.
Iya, it's wisdom also.
Being kayak dikasihanin, I really hate feeling vulnerable sampai orang kayak, ya lo Mika, aduh, gak mau. Dan aku gak mau pas masuk ke sekolah, teman-teman gue kayak mendadak baik. sama gue cuma gara-gara kejadian tersebut.
Benar-benar.
I really want to make sure this whole time I've made friendship with all my best friends, my close friends with you, sama suami pun. Aku juga baru cerita ke suami.
Itu bedanya bule sama Indonesia. Kalau Indonesia senang banget main victim kan, yang kasihanin gitu kan, yang ditangis-tangisin gitu. Wow, makanya bedanya bule sama Indo.
Menurut aku tuh I want you guys to wanna be my friend because of this aja gitu loh. Maksud aku because of who I am, but not because of what happened to me in the past. Gue gak mau gitu loh. Dan menurut aku hal yang terjadi itu juga nggak sama sekali define me. Itu juga benar-benar cuma 1% apa yang aku sekarang gitu loh. Benar-benar does not define me, does not have anything to do with who I, apa sih, kayak how I am to you, nggak ada. Dan aku nggak mau itu untuk dibangkit dan untuk orang ngerasa kayak wah tuh gara-gara itu kejadian sama Mika gue jadi mau balas, jadi gue mau baik sama dia. Nggak mau, gue mau balas, gue mau lo baik sama gue karena you wanna be nice
enjoy talking with me,
like
or I'm fun to be around.
Tuh cuma bukan gara-gara apa yang terjadi pas aku umur 8 tahun, 9 tahun, itu has nothing to do with it. I've moved on. Gue gak mau itu orang untuk sebagai apa ya, sebagai defining aku sih. Itu aja
keren.
sih.
That's a good mindset. Kalau cewek Indo bedanya sama bule gitu. Indo kan seneng banget victim, right? The sadder it is, they like it even, you know. Wow, that's a good mindset. How does your mom raise you? What kind of pep talk does she do that makes you to be so strong and so kayak fighter mindsetnya, nggak drama, kayak victim down terus?
Because my mom wasn't strong. She wasn't afraid to open up to me. She wasn't afraid to cry to me. Can you imagine aku umur 6-7 tahun mendadak my mom masuk ke kamar terus nangis-nangis. Kan orang ada mindset lu sebagai ibu harus kelihatan kepada anak kalian bahwa kamu tuh fine, you're perfect, you're ini, you're itu. Nah, my mom did the opposite. She would not be afraid to be wrecked. Maksudnya dia nggak takut untuk kelihatan jelek di depan aku. Dia nggak takut untuk bilang, I did a mistake, I did this, I did that. And of course, I liked it karena when I was young, I was like, oh, jadi kalau aku pun buat masalah, aku kayak, ya pas umur 7 kan salahnya kita kan pecahin piring lah gitu loh. My mom suka marah sama aku, tapi marahnya nggak amarah banget, karena menurut dia kan kayak gue pun juga suka sering buat salah juga, dan dia suka minta maaf ke aku, even though sebenarnya nggak terlalu efek aku. Dia bisa nih pulang terus kayak, ya Allah sayang, kayak I forgot kamu seharusnya makan bareng bla bla bla, terus dia bisa nangis dan dia minta maaf. Maybe kemungkinan kan moms lain kan kayak, ya udahlah gue bilang sama anak gue sibuk kayak apa kayak alasan. Nah, memang tuh nggak pernah mau buat
she was
alasan
honest, the key is honesty. Really honest. I think
then
you really
appreciate when she was heartbroken from her boyfriend, aku aja umur 7 tahun pernah lihat dia nangis. So kayak, Mom, are you okay? She's like, oh, I got heartbroken, and you know, she cried to me, and she says later when you're older, you'll feel the same way. There's gonna be guys who are very mean. There's gonna be guys who's gonna hurt you, but it's okay to cry. It's okay to not be okay, but you're gonna have to stand up and bangkit lagi one day gitu sih. Jadi karena my mom pernah vulnerable di aku, dan dia ngasih lihat hidup itu emang gak cantik. Jadi aku dari kecil udah ada mindset, wah kayak ini hidup gue pas gede susah nih gitu loh. Jadi she made sure I knew the world isn't as pretty, as perfect as kayak in the film. Dia sering banget kayak, ini kalau kamu nonton film tuh fairy tale ya. I'm like, oh okay.
Did you wish she was more positive though, or you like it that she was being very real and realistic?
Plus minus sih, of course. Kayak sempat beberapa orang kayak, gila Demi, hidup lu pas kecil tuh nggak the typical childhood life. Iya sih, emang pas aku kecil my childhood life tuh nggak terlalu ada. Maksudnya nggak yang cantik, nggak yang simple. It was very messy. And to be honest, the only minus thing is that it made me grow up too quickly. That's why aku bisa mendadak married sama suami umur 17-18. Karena menurut aku terpaksa aku jadi mendadak jadi mendewasa terlalu cepat. But now that I'm married, I'm happily married with him for 6 years. Punya Ace yang umur 3 tahun, dan he's the love of my life. I don't regret it, and I thank my mom every day, because namanya juga ibu, all we do is we try our best, ya kan? So she did her best, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah, she must be so proud of you. Did she cry on your wedding day? I bet she cried. Yeah.
Not in front of me,
Yeah.
but I know she did when she got home karena
Yeah.
dikasih tahu sama Mbak.
No, ya pastilah, because you are
Oh,
her everything. You're like
nangis.
her best friend. That's why you mature early. Wow, you give hope to many girls that if you guys are trauma or feel
Amin.
like, okay, one event too will ruin your life, it shouldn't be, yeah. One event
Yeah.
shouldn't ruin our life. Thank
No
you so
event
much,
should
so Mika.
ruin your life.
Wow, for sharing. See, and you should see her happy family picture. Make every girls jealous. Yeah, hot banget. Berdua.
Enggak.
Again, we go to the TikTok and see the YouTube when you go to Pulau Cinta. I love it. Iya, itu
Oh,
bagus
thank
banget.
you
Iya, ntar
nonton.
abis corona selesai,
Intinya,
make more traveling one with the kid and the
of
husband.
course,
I
of
think
course,
you
of
guys should
course.
make a reality TV show. I think it's one of my favorite
Ah.
Indonesian couples. Yeah. And how are you, with your trauma and everything, how are you still so positive around your friends? Because, you have many girlfriends who are hot mom also, and you never
Because
fight or get into drama. You don't get insecure. Because trauma girls are usually very insecure around other girls.
karena menurut aku, I'm pretty sure everyone is going through something. Gak mungkin I'm the only one. Everyone has some story. Everyone has some permasalahan. Dan menurut aku, mereka pun juga keep it a secret. They keep it for themselves. They keep it for their friends. Abis itu only for their families. Jadi aku nggak pernah ngerasa insecure karena menurut aku nggak mungkin teman-teman aku, sahabat-sahabat aku punya hidup yang juga perfect. Jadi mereka pun pasti sempat harus lewatin some sort of trauma, sempat harus lewatin some sort of problem. Jadi I never have to feel insecure because I'm pretty sure everyone is going through the same thing but just different story. Jadi menurut aku semua nggak usah pernah rasain insecure sih. Karena I'm pretty sure semua punya masalah. Sampai I'm pretty sure a lot of my followers dan teman aku pada shock karena mereka sempat kira my life was perfect,
Yeah, it looks so perfect though, and you do look like a Barbie doll and Ken with the husband.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Jadi nggak ada
so
hidup
strong,
yang perfect, nggak ada yang apa sih. But menurut aku it's fair that we don't have to tell everyone our story. Maksud aku just because my Instagram looks nice, maksudnya kan everyone saying kayaknya Instagrammu perfect banget, bukan perfect emang. I just want to show this. Ngapain I have to show the ugly atau kayak the trauma? Karena menurut aku gak usah. It's my choice. I want to show it or not gitu sih. Dan sekarang I wanna show it gitu. Maksud aku sekarang I wanna open up to it. Tapi kan gak usah dengan cara jelek.
Iya, that's true. Iya. You're very wise loh, umur 24. Yeah, you nggak curhat-curhat ribut on sosmed. Some girls do that a lot. Yeah, when they fight with the husband or with whoever, they like curhat-curhat in Insta story. Even I do that sometimes. See, makanya we need to learn. Makanya age is just a number. You're younger than me, but you're for sure mature banget sih. Way more mature. That's why you're married and I'm not. That's why you already have kids and I'm not. Makanya sih mature banget. Wow, keren. So di sini juga single mother can learn a lot from your mom, the way she raised you, So it's good to be honest to the kids, Wow.
Yeah, it's good to be honest. Very honest aja sih.
Okay. And one last question. How do you fight the thoughts when you think life is not fair? Why does it have to happen to me? Girls with self-pity, it always happens. I don't know, maybe you're so strong, you don't have that. But many girls I talk to, even I do, we have self-pity. Why me? It's not fair. I wasn't a bad kid. I didn't do, my grades maybe were good. I never do mean things to other kids. I don't steal, people's stuff. Why me? How do you fight the self-pity thoughts? Because it's the hardest, self-pity itu the hardest.
Ya itu sih, balik lagi, you have to have faith that this life itu udah ditulis sebenarnya. And if something happened to you, obviously Allah itu udah make sure it happened to you and He knew you're able to pass by it. Apa yang Dia lempar ke kamu tuh kamu sebenarnya bisa ngelewatin dengan gampang gitu. If you want it to be gampang, artinya sih. If you wanted to move on from it. Masalah self-pity, of course, maksudnya at that time I was 9. Of course, aku sampai umur 13-14 kayak, ini gue gak pernah buat salah deh ke dia deh. Gue kan kayak diem aja gitu. Gue selama ini sebenarnya kan gini-gini, of course. Tapi jangan salah ya, itu akan lewat. Kalau kamu mau lewatin hal itu gitu loh. Jangan takut untuk ngerasain itu. Karena menurut aku semua victim pasti ngerasain itu. Kita akan semua pasti kayak,
kamu nggak sendirian ya
ngerasain gitu loh. Pasti akan ngerasain. Tapi you need to say enough is enough. Nah, menurut lo kapan is it enough gitu loh? Menurut kamu kapan lu mau kayak gini-gini aja? Kapan
So
lu mau
girls started
lanjut?
enough is enough. Yeah. Wow,
Karena yang
powerful.
ngetramain lo aja udah pasti udah lewat, udah nggak mikirin lagi, dia udah bodo amat pasti.
Udah ada hidup
Nah,
baru, or maybe ruining someone else's life again
dia
already.
final udah going for the next victim. Nah, kamu sebagai victim juga ngapain sih diam di situ aja gitu? Kenapa lu nggak mau maju hidup lu? Kenapa lu nggak mau move on gitu? Why kamu buatin dia menang? This is a war between yourself sebenarnya. Kayak, are you gonna let yourself lose this war or not? Dan menurut aku, we should always win. Because we deserve.
Keren banget sih. Our worst enemy sebenarnya not the people that hurt us ya. It can be ourselves yang bener-bener hold us down and keep us stuck. Tuh girls catat ya, sebenarnya yang buat kita sekolah bisa susah move on dalam hal apapun sebenarnya bukan orang-orang itu yang jahat sama kita atau ninggalin kita, orang sakitin kita, tapi salah kita sendiri ya. To let ourselves be stuck in that pit gitu. Oke. And your religion, who introduce you to Muslim? Karena you converted right pas umur 12, itu cute banget loh ceritanya. Was your mom shocked when you converted? Iya. Did a friend help you or a psychologist or someone bring you to Ustadz?
It was my mom. Jadi emang ibu aku kan, ibunya kan nenek aku kan emang Katolik, terus kakek aku Muslim, dan mama aku pas itu masih Katolik. Dan karena my mom orangnya open minded dan dia sangat-sangat percaya sama aku, dan dia selalu ngajarin aku bahwa this is my life and I choose how I want to live, dia pun nyuruh aku untuk milih agama sendiri. Jadi dari aku kecil sampai umur 11-12 itu tuh ada prosesnya. Sempat aku ikut Bible Club, aku sempat beberapa kali masuk ke church, ke Catholic Church with my grandma sama dia, terus kayak I went to masjid pun juga, ke Buddhist temple juga, semuanya aku sempat kayak coba-cobalah gitu lah. Dan nggak tahu kenapa pas umur 11-12 yang menurut saya masuk akal dan menurut aku kayaknya gue bisa nerapin ke hidup gue deh, kayaknya gue bisa ngikut apa sih aturan-aturan Allah di Al-Quran tuh, menurut aku kayaknya gue lebih bisa nangkep why harus begini, harus begitu. Nah dari situlah I decided, kayaknya aku mau jadi aku mau masuk ke agama Islam. And my mom said okay of course. Dan alhamdulillah nggak tahu kenapa nggak lama pas aku umur 14-15 my mom masuk ke agama Islam, and then aku juga masuk ke agama Islam, and then as a whole family now we're just all Muslim, so I guess emang keluarga kita cocok aja sih.
Yeah, then you met your husband, he's a Muslim, that's a perfect story.
Yeah,
that's a perfect story. Amazing.
I made sure sih, maksudnya if I decided I wanted to marry someone, I made sure he had to be satu jalur sama aku. Dan definitely being dalam satu agama tuh it's much more easier aja sih kalau kamu satu agama tuh, jadi jalur hidup tuh jauh lebih sempit, maksudnya jalurnya jadi satu.
Yeah, wow, okay. So it's good for kids it's okay to explore and ask around, and your faith really help you with the trauma healing too ya. So kalau yang nonton di sini kena trauma, whatever happens, you must seek help from adult or psychologist or go to faith, karena kita nggak bisa andalin kekuatan sendiri ya, kita harus pakai kekuatan Tuhan. Wah, thank you so much Mika for sharing.
Thank you so much for
hebat
having
banget. Iya, thank you banget for sharing. Learn a lot from you. After this I gojek you the book and the ice cream ya.
Gojek. Yes, Häagen-Dazs.
Iya, I send you. Thank you so much for sharing. God bless you.
Of course, makasih semua nih yang udah nonton ya.
Kuat banget. Iya, post more picture dong. Post. Iya, pasti bermanfaat. Post more yang ini dong, sama yang pas you tomboy, sama yang bertiga lagi. Di TikTok juga sering-sering ya. I love your TikTok.
Of course.
TikTok so much fun. Itu dong, sama your husband lebih seringin lagi. Make account barengan. Atau YouTube series. Iya. Seru banget ya.
Nanti deh kita pikirin deh.
Iya, and Holiday More. You should subscribe to her YouTube. Seru banget. Ada yang video di Pulau Cinta. Oh my god, itu cewek-cewek jomblo ngeliat itu tuh kayak emotional porn, men watch porn like porn. Men watch porn kayak gitu. Kalau girls kan kita suka yang lovey-dovey. For us, that's like porn because we don't do like porn like men porn. Right? For us, we see like a couple yang lovey-dovey itu sama anak. Apalagi I love this, gue ngeliatnya kayak bagus banget.
Jangan dong, everyone deserves pasti happy ending. Nanti insyaAllah ya.
And then we can have our happy ending. We cannot choose to be stuck in one event terus and not move on. Okay. Thank you so much for being such a strong role model. See, even Mika aja pernah went through something, but she overcame overcome, so we all can too as girls, you know. Yeah, nothing is as perfect as Instagram. Pasti kan everybody have their struggles. Ya, you nggak boleh dikit-dikit minder, nggak boleh dikit-dikit pengen bunuh diri atau apa, karena merasa semua orang
Karena
hidupnya
sebenarnya
lebih enak,
semua
lebih
juga
flawless.
ngelakuin hal.
Thank you so much, Mika. Take
Thank you so
care.
much for having. Thank you so
Talk
much
soon.
everyone.
Yeah. Thank you. So
Bye.
sweet. Bye-bye. Say hi to your kid. Lucu banget itu.
Of course. Thank
Iya.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bagus. Tadi bagus banget, aku belum matiin, tapi ingat dari Mika kita belajar bahwa trauma you can heal from it, dan kalau kamu nggak mau move on dari itu atau seek help atau seek faith, andalin kekuatan Tuhan. Kalau kamu nggak bisa sendiri, ntar kamu yang rugi, soalnya kalau kamu stay stuck in the rut forever. So you need to fight it and you need to you can heal gitu, even though it takes time, dan prosesnya nggak gampang. Lagi Mika bilang kan berapa, 8 tahun atau 6 tahun dia lama bisa nangis-nangis gitu kan, tapi it's normal and you will overcome because you all deserve a future. Jadinya bisa trauma healing. And then di My Dignity Social juga ntar ada Zoom class for trauma healing in 2 weeks, so you can join that. That's a good start. Walaupun satu kelas doang sih nggak akan fix you, tapi it can give you a good start, and it has like worksheet segala macam, so you feel more confident karena you cannot let trauma get to you and ruin your future too. Bye girls.